Welcome to Camera Operation 101 for Calvary Chapel. This video will guide you through the basic camera functions to help prepare you for your first time serving as a camera operator. As you approach the camera, you will notice that it may or may not already be on and ready for operation. However, for the purpose of this tutorial, we will start with the camera in its standby mode. The first thing we need to do is remove the lens cover. There are two types of covers used depending on the camera. In Melbourne, cameras 2 and 3 have a soft, large square cover that is slipped off of the lens housing. All other cameras have a fitted lens cap that sits just inside the lens housing. Pull on both sides of the lens cap simultaneously and remove the cap with a slight wiggle action. Place the lens cap at the base of the tripod face up. Now let's unlock the tripod so the camera can move. All tripods have a lock for pan and one for tilt. You will need to unlock both of these for the camera to be safely moved. On cameras 2 and 3 in Melbourne, there is an additional safety lock due to the heavy lens. Red means locked, green means unlocked and ready for use. Flip this lever to green. The viewfinder is a monitor screen. To turn it on, move the silver switch on the left side of the monitor to on. The screen angle can be adjusted to allow for comfortable viewing by the operator. Use the knob on the side of the monitor to loosen, adjust, and retighten into the desired position. There are two lights that are important to know called tally lights. Green means you're being previewed by the director. They are looking at your shot, which means you may be next, so be ready. Red means you are live, and you should only move as directed, usually panning, pulling, or pushing slowly. Next, let's make sure your comms are on and working. Put the comm headset on and adjust the volume knob located here. You should always test to make sure you can hear the director prior to starting rehearsal. If the comm isn't working, first check the silver switch next to the volume knob. It should be in the middle position. If you are still having an issue, then alert the production manager. To talk or respond to questions directly, press this button on the right handle, down to talk momentarily, and up to lock mic open. Remember that talking on headsets by camera operators should be limited to necessity only. The director will use certain terminology that you need to be listening for. Ready camera 2 means you should be standing by to start your move and your shot is about to be used. Go camera 2 means you start your movement. And finally, take camera 2 means that you are live. Once you hear another camera called, your red tally light should go off. You are then free to move quickly to another shot. Now we are ready to start taking camera shots. Let's look at the basic operations of zoom and focus. The zoom toggle is on the right handle of the camera. Toggle to the right is zooming in, and to the left is zooming out. We call this push and pull respectively. A little trick to help make slow, smooth zooms is to use the web of your hand like so, and by slowly rotating until you get movement. You can hold that easier than with your thumb or finger. The number on the upper right of your viewfinder is the zoom level. The number on the top left of your screen is the focus setting. You can use this number to help you remember what your focus should be for a given distance. It allows you to reset focus quickly by recalling the number. We always need to ensure our subject is in focus. The control for that is on the left handle of the camera. The cameras have a focus assist feature that helps you to easily see that the subject in the center of your shot is in sharp focus. The yellow lines show that you are focused on that object. The fatter and brighter the lines, the sharper your focus. The goal is to have those bright yellow lines around your subject at a tight zoom. Then, when you zoom out or pull, the subject should stay in focus for at least half of your zoom range. A good habit is to zoom in, set focus, and then pull back out to start your shot. So when you zoom in, the subject remains in focus. Now that we have covered the camera settings and operation, let's discuss framing. The framing is a term used to describe how our subject fits inside our camera lens. There is a white lined rectangle that goes around the viewfinder just inside the outer limits of your camera frame. This is to help guide you on where your subject should be to prevent the top of their head from being cut off. If you keep them inside that white rectangle, you will have proper headroom. Headroom being a term referring to the space above the person's head. Too much, not good, wasted space, and too little, you cut them off. Framing your subject is usually in 4 ways. Head shot, tight on your subject. Waist shot, from their waist up. Head to toe, full body shot. And wide shot, pulling out to either full stage or to a particular distance to show multiple subjects at once, like a 2-shot or crowd shot. The director will call for certain shots based on how they were blending their cuts. Get to your subject and that framing as quickly as you can. Once in focus, the director will ask for a pull or a push. This is almost always a very slow movement using your zoom control. Occasionally, the director may ask you to rack focus. This means at the called time, you roll your focus all the way out to blur the subject. Try to use it only when directed to. Practice. Use the rehearsal time to warm up. Make sure your camera is moving and working as expected. And practice your shots. This is the time to be creative. You can sell shots, showing the director what you are trying to do. The director may like that and ask you to reset it. Go back to the beginning of that movement you started and be ready to go when called to. So, you have served brilliantly. Service is over and it's time to lock the cameras back down. Turn off your viewfinder by switching the silver toggle on the left side to standby. Turn down the volume on your comms. Place the lens cap back over the front of the lens or into the lens housing. Lock the camera pan and tilt before you step away from the camera. If you are on camera 2 or 3 in Melbourne, lock the camera safety lock by flipping the green lever back to red and tilt the camera slightly until you hear it click into place. Thank you for serving and taking the time to prepare by watching this tutorial. This concludes Basic Camera 101. See you out there.